The anime starts by showing Seiichi Hiraji, a brave adventurer, locked in a fierce fight. Seiichi has evolved to his maximum potential and has learned many skills, but in this battle, he struggles and almost loses because his opponent stabs him in the stomach. Seiichi's loyal partner, a female monkey demon named Saria, sees him injured and becomes enraged. She transforms into a gorilla to take revenge, but unfortunately, she is easily defeated by the enemy. Suddenly, Seiichi wakes up from his nightmare. He and his friends are on their way to the Barbator Magic Academy, where they will stay for a while. After a long journey, they finally arrive at the academy and are welcomed by Ablet Barnabas, the head of the academy, who takes them on a tour of the school. The Barbator Academy is a popular destination for students who want to learn magic, and it's situated in a prominent city. As Seiichi and his friends continue to explore the Barbator Academy, they discover that many students there are from different worlds. However, these students are often shunned by others because of their exceptional abilities. To help these talented students, Mr. Barnabas assigns Seiichi to train them and help them become as strong as the hero candidates. He also has plans for Seiichi's friends. Saria and Lulu May will enroll as students at the academy, while Altria Grem will become a teacher, and Origa Carmelita will be Seiichi's assistant, helping him with his duties. In a flashback, we see that Seiichi was once a student who was constantly bullied by his classmates. One day, he was mysteriously transported to another world, where he met Saria, who would later become his wife. Seiichi also encountered many beautiful girls and enjoyed a wonderful life. This was all made possible because Seiichi ate the fruit of evolution, which gave him superpowers and turned him into a handsome young man. Fast forward to the present, Seiichi is now the guardian of Class F, which consists of problematic students. However, things get more complicated when a new teacher named Beatrice Rogena arrives and scolds Mr. Barnabas for leaving so much work behind. Beatrice is the former homeroom teacher of Class F, and she's been asked by the head of the academy to help Seiichi teach the troublesome students. Beatrice was struggling to bring out the best in her students in Class F. She believed that they weren't troublemakers, but rather had the potential to become great heroes. So the academy had decided to bring in Seiichi as their new teacher, hoping he could help the students reach their full potential. As Seiichi entered the classroom for the first time, he fell victim to a trap set up by one of the students. Despite this, he tried to stay composed and not let it get to him. Unfortunately, when he introduced himself to the class, he was met with complete indifference from the students. Seiichi found himself baffled and intimidated by their unusual behavior. The scene shifted to Kreese, who was conversing with the wizard Helio Ravan through a crystal ball. They planned to revive the god Majin sect by unleashing chaos and despair among humans. Their first target was the Barbator Academy, where they planned to kill talented students worldwide. Suddenly, Kreese was ambushed and tied up by Daniolos, who was known as the Liberation leader, and Angaria, the assassin princess. They informed Kreese that they were going to destroy the academy. Meanwhile, Agnos Passion, a curious F-class student, was intrigued by their new teacher, Seiichi. However, Beatrice entered and frightened Agnos. She announced that Seiichi would be their new homeroom teacher, which came as a shock to the four students in the class. Agnos, Brudlev Kaiser, Helen, and the bear exhibited erratic behavior, making Seiichi feel mentally overwhelmed and incapable of teaching them. The scene changed to Kanazuki Karen, a student summoned from another world. Since Seiichi's arrival at the academy, Karen has been reminded of their past life. While running in the corridor, Karen accidentally collided with another student named Irie Sato. Irie was excited to hear about Seiichi's arrival, as she had heard rumors about him. Back in Class F, Beatrice distributed the Kerbal test results to the students, starting from Agnos, who scored the lowest, to Helen, who scored the highest. Seiichi then tested their abilities by having them practice sparring with each other. While on their way to the competition hall, the F-class students were still curious about Seiichi. When Saria revealed that she was Seiichi's wife, they were taken aback. As the Class F students waited for Seiichi at the competition hall, a group of students sauntered over to them. The other students started taunting them, calling them losers and failures. These bullies were led by Terra, who happened to be the older brother of Brood. Terra was one of the elite students in the highest class of the Barbator Academy of Magic, and she and her posse acted as if they were superior to everyone else. They especially enjoyed belittling the Class F students, who they considered to be stupid. But then something unexpected happened. Tara noticed Saria standing among the Class F students, and he was immediately entranced by her. He tried to impress her with his words, but Saria was having none of it. She informed him that she belonged to Seiichi, and that was that. Tara was humiliated by Saria's rejection in front of everyone. He was used to getting his way, and this rejection stung him deeply. Feeling embarrassed and ashamed, Tara stormed off in a huff, unable to face the other students after being rejected so publicly. Seiichi finally arrived, ready to begin sparring training for Class F. His first opponent was Helen. Seiichi decided not to use magic, and instead relied solely on physical attacks. But this choice angered Helen, who felt insulted by his decision. She attacked Seiichi with a fury, mercilessly slashing him with her sword. Seiichi struggled to hold his own against Helen's relentless onslaught. In the end, he decided to use his magic powers to try and turn the tide of the battle. But to everyone's surprise, his magic didn't seem to work. It appeared as though Seiichi was destined to lose this fight against Helen. Helen unleashed her secret move, the Twin Fang Stab, which sent her flying into Seiichi's arms. The other students were amazed by Seiichi's lightning-fast reflexes. But then Brood stepped forward and challenged Seiichi to a 3-on-1 fight. Seiichi, always up for a challenge, accepted. The three Class F students launched a coordinated attack on Seiichi, who struggled to fend them off with physical attacks. But when they attacked him all at once, Seiichi unleashed his magic powers, catching them off guard and knocking them out cold. It was a stunning victory for Seiichi, who had proven that he was far more powerful than anyone had given him credit for. As Seiichi looked at the defeated students, he noticed something strange in their power status histories. It seemed as though they had experienced a rejection reaction when trying to activate their magic powers. Seiichi used his World Eye skill to investigate further, but he couldn't find the cause of the problem. Beatrice and Mr. Barnabas had a big problem. The Class F students couldn't use magic, no matter how hard they tried. This made the other students look down on them, and they felt hopeless about their future. But when Seiichi saw how desperate they were, he decided to help. Seiichi used his incredible magic powers to break the chains that had been holding the Class F students back. As he did so, they felt a rush of heat in their bodies, and suddenly they were free. It was as if a great power had been unleashed inside of them. Helen and her companions immediately put their magic skills to the test, and to their delight, their spells worked. Beatrice was especially grateful to Seiichi for helping them succeed. Even the students who had challenged Seiichi before were now happy to be his friends. Later on, Seiichi and his party were in the cafeteria when Karen suddenly showed up and called out to him. Seiichi recognized her voice and turned to see Karen, who rushed over and embraced him tightly, right in front of Saria. Meanwhile, Demi Olos and Anguria used Anguria's special skill to find the Academy Barbator and sneak in without any trouble. Karen then introduced herself to Seiichi's party as his childhood friend. Karen went on to share her past with them, explaining how she used to be bullied for her strong personality and masculine appearance. Seiichi had come to her rescue, but it resulted in him being mistreated by his own friends. Karen then asked Seiichi if she really looked like a man, but he advised her to be true to herself regardless of her appearance. As time went on, Seiichi continued to defend Karen, even if it meant putting himself in danger. He revealed to his friends that he was also from another world, just like Karen. In fact, his original body was short and chubby. It was only after he ate the Shinka no Mi in the forest that he gained his current appearance. Despite his unique situation and appearance, Seiichi's friends still accepted him for who he was, without judgment. Karen was relieved to see Seiichi surrounded by people who truly loved him, but she also warned him not to get involved with her any further. As a hero candidate sent to the academy by the Emperor, she was always at risk of being attacked by their enemies. Karen didn't want to put Seiichi in harm's way again, so she left. But when Carmelia noticed Karen's bracelet, she realized something horrifying. The bracelet was a gift from the Imperial Kaiser that denoted the wearer's status. However, Seiichi quickly realized that the bracelet was actually a slavery device, and he was enraged at the Emperor for deceiving Karen. Seiichi's anger couldn't be contained, and he slowly lost consciousness. His soul was transported to another dimension, where he was consumed by a massive shadow that fed on negative emotions and despair. When Seiichi screamed in frustration, those wearing the Kaiser's bracelets fell unconscious and their devices shattered. As Seiichi's soul was about to be consumed by the dark shadow, Saria did everything in her power to revive him. When Seiichi came to, he warned everyone that the Empire was manipulating them through the bracelets, which could take control of them at any moment. Suddenly, Barnabas arrived and revealed that the Empire wanted to use the hero candidates to defeat the demon army and prevent the Weinberg Kingdom from allying with them. Barnabas thanked Seiichi for destroying the bracelet and urged them to keep it a secret. Karen also joined the group as an older sister figure. On the other hand, Hel Leo, a member of the Kaiser Empire, is in a state of panic and discusses with Demiolos and Angeria about the destroyed slavery bracelets. Hel Leo is worried that their plan to revive the god Majin sect using negative human energy will fail. Seiichi's powerful shout had also increased the god Majin's dark power, making them more eager to attack the academy students. Meanwhile, the F-class students were preparing for an upcoming inter-class competition with the help of Seiichi's special training. However, their practice was interrupted by Terra and his friends. Helen asked Seiichi to make them stronger, so they underwent even harder training. The following day, the Academy Barbitor class competition kicked off with a match between Class S and Class F. However, Seiichi was having a tough time as his stomach was hurting, and he kept running to the bathroom. As the battle was about to begin, the atmosphere suddenly changed. Demiolos and Angeria, representatives of the god Majin sect, appeared out of nowhere and captured Mr. Barnabas. They erected a massive light barrier that separated the students. As the students tried to break the barrier, they realized that their magic was rebounding. This created panic and fear among the students, with Beatrice trying her best to soothe them. Terra, one of the students, attempted to attack Angeria, but it was in vain. Angeria even managed to control Terra's friends and turn them against him. Despite Angeria's mind control, Terra and the other academy students united to fight against her. They mustered all their strength and launched a combined attack against her, breaking the barrier in the process. Agnos and Angeria were locked in a fierce battle, hurling powerful attacks at each other. Agnos launched a stone magic attack, and then they combined their powers for another strike. Their magic was so potent that it destroyed half of Angeria's face mask. This revealed her ugly face, making her angry and determined to win at any cost. She used her newfound power to defeat Agnos and emerge victorious. But Angeria's thirst for destruction wasn't satisfied yet. She went after Helen, who was known for her stunning beauty. Angeria intended to kill her, but before she could strike, Beatrice came to the rescue. She launched a fierce attack on Angeria, determined to protect her friends. Meanwhile, Seiichi was still in the bathroom, holding his stomach in pain. As Angeria's attack left the students injured and in pain, Beatrice grew angry and launched a fierce attack on Angeria. However, Angeria was able to take control of Agnos and forced him to attack Beatrice. Despite Agnos' attacks, Beatrice managed to dodge every strike. Angeria even went so far as to order Agnos to say hurtful things to Beatrice. Agnos approached her and claimed that he could use magic thanks to Seiichi's help. But Beatrice was disappointed to hear this, since she had never been able to awaken his magical powers. She tried to brush off her disappointment and hit Agnos on the head with her trusty book, the same one she used to stop his mischief. Despite being controlled, Beatrice still wanted to be Agnos' teacher. Slowly but surely, Agnos came to his senses and broke free from Angeria's control. In a fit of rage, Angeria attacked Beatrice again, but this time, Beatrice was ready for her. She easily repelled Angeria's attack and sent her flying backward. The students erupted in cheers as Agnos apologized for his previous harsh words. Beatrice had almost won the fight against Angeria when Demiolos appeared with a beaming smile. Despite Angeria's cornered position, Demiolos refused to lend his strength to her. Demiolos exposed Angeria as a fake messenger from God Majin, as she did not bear the symbol of power from their sect. Angeria's world crumbled around her upon hearing this revelation, and she was swallowed up by the darkness. Beatrice battled fiercely with Demiolos, who was much stronger than Angeria. Although Beatrice fought back with all her might, Demiolos knocked her down time and time again. Despite her many attempts to unleash even greater power, it seemed to have no effect. Shortly after, Seiichi arrived and immediately put a stop to Demiolos' rampage. Despite Demiolos' attacks, Seiichi remained calm and unaffected. Looking around at the people who had been harmed, Seiichi was filled with fury. Finally, the crowd cheered for their victory. Seiichi revealed that he had fought his own enemy, a Stomachaki, earlier. The scene then shifts to a group of God Majin messengers who have learned of Demiolos and Angeria's defeat. In response, they sent someone to resurrect God Majin by destroying Barbador Academy. Seiichi and Irie were struck by Demi-Olo's attack and found themselves in the realm of death, their souls damaged. There they were faced with a mysterious narrator who offered them a chance to return to the world of the living by passing a guessing game related to their past on Earth. They managed to overcome all obstacles without too much difficulty. In a flashback, it was revealed that Seiichi and Irie had first met in junior high school. Irie was a loner who admired Seiichi for saving her from her sadness. Irie and Seiichi had passed the test of guessing their past, but it was just the first step towards reaching the gate of life promised by the gods. Meanwhile, Ellis, Gussel, and Ranterv were focused on preparing their country for the ratification of a peaceful alliance between the Wienberg Kingdom and the Demon King faction. Lutes and the Demon faction generals were also looking forward to finally ending the long-standing conflict with humanity through peaceful means. Seiichi and Irie faced new challenges in their journey towards the Gate of Life, as the ancestors of the gay group tried to stop them with ridiculous acts. However, Seiichi was able to use his Shinka no Mi ability to overcome them and bring Irie to the gate. After crossing the Gate of Life, they finally escaped the realm of death and returned to the world of the living. But their happiness was short-lived as they received bad news from Louise Balls. Let's go back in time before Louise arrived at Barbador Academy. Gussel and Ellis were on a mission to elect new members to help Ranterv pass the peace law with the Demon faction. Only one adventurer, Vitor, passed the difficult test of the Wienberg Royal Guild. But later it was discovered that Vitor was actually a leader of a group that worshipped the god Majin and wanted destruction to awaken their master who was sealed away. Another member of the god Majin sect, Destra, had also trapped Zakia Guilford. Thankfully, Louise arrived to help Guilford and explain the peace law to Seiichi. However, Destra was still able to launch a huge attack and even severely injured Louise. Unfortunately, Destra had to flee because of a past memory. At Barbador Academy, a high-ranking member of the god Majin worship organization named Jempel managed to sneak in by using the doppelganger ability to disguise himself as Irie. With his magic, he was able to paralyze Brood, Bear, and Agnos, using their own abilities against them. But Jempel's mission was cut short when he was moved by the sincerity and kindness of Seiichi's colleagues. Their love and care for each other touched him deeply and made him think about the meaning of his life. He decided to leave the god Majin sect and disguised himself as Seiichi to learn more about love and kindness. Eventually, he realized the error of his ways and decided to leave the academy. But his betrayal caused him trouble because he was killed by Destra, who was disappointed with Jempel's actions. In the kingdom of Wienberg, Ellis started to have doubts about Vitor, who was acting strangely and seemed to know about the god Majin worshipping organization's plans. This suspicion led to a confrontation between Ellis and Vitor, where Vitor revealed himself as an envoy of god Majin. During the fight, Vitor used his powers from the god Majin to overpower Ellis, but Gussel arrived just in time to save her. Gussel's strength proved too much for Vitor, who realized too late the error of his ways. But before he could make amends, he was killed by Jutes, the messenger of god Majin. Seiichi had just returned from Wienberg, when he received an invitation to teach at the prestigious Academy Barbador. But there was something more to this invitation than just a job offer. Mr. Barnabas, the Academy's director, explained that Seiichi was in danger from god Majin, a powerful being who coveted the magical powers of the Shinka no Mi move user, and Seiichi happened to be one. To understand the origin of this power, Mr. Barnabas revealed that it was born from god Majin's negative energy, unleashed during a fierce battle for the throne of the gods long ago. Shinka no Mi practitioners were thus associated with god Majin and viewed with suspicion by many. Mr. Barnabas recounted the tragic story of one of his former students, Destra, who had betrayed him by using the forbidden power given to him by god Majin. But before he could finish, Destra himself appeared, interrupting their conversation. He demanded that Seiichi and Saria, another Shinka no Mi user, be handed over to god Majin. Destra was aided by Jutes and god Majin to capture Seiichi and Saria and take them to the realm of the god Majin for sacrifice. Confused and bewildered, Seiichi struggled to make sense of what was happening. Destra defeated Saria with ease and used her defeat to force Seiichi to awaken the power of the Shinka no Mi for god Majin's benefit. But Seiichi was able to resist Destra's manipulation with the help of a special armor. He not only gained incredible abilities, but also discovered the true nature of Destra's inner emptiness. He learned that Destra was haunted by the memory of his beloved Liba Ra, whom he had failed to protect. In the end, Seiichi's evolution allowed him to save all the souls sacrificed by the god Majin. And as for Destra, he made the ultimate sacrifice to atone for his past mistakes and join his beloved Liba Ra in the afterlife. Destra's defeat put an end to the god Majin's planned resurrection by his fanatical followers. After their victory, Seiichi and the girls had a relaxing time at Barbador Academy, joking and mingling with the staff. Meanwhile, the demon faction of the Weinberg Kingdom and the former leaders of the demon-worshipping organization were living happily without fear. But in the shadows, Ju-Tiz remained loyal to the god Majin and plotted to bring about the destruction of the world. He moved in secret, determined to carry out his master's vision of chaos and ruin. The moral lesson of the story is even the mightiest warriors can be taken down by an unexpected stomachache. So always keep some magical antacids in your heroic utility belt. You never know when they'll save the world and your digestion at the same time.